Hi, everybody. So, I'm doing energy work for Ben today, and this is actually a negative entity demon psychic attack session. And so, Joseph is going to be doing 60 minutes of energy work for Ben, and I'm going to be doing 60 minutes of energy work with Ben. And he's open minded to sharing this experience on YouTube, so I'm going to make it here as a YouTube video. So I always do these types of sessions as a high priority, mainly because that's like the most extreme spiritual experience anybody could be going through, and people usually need help on a high priority basis. It's pretty extreme. So I'll just read a little bit of what Ben has shared with me, and then I'm going to get started, okay? So he says, um, okay, he's experienced a lot of psychic stuff at the moment. What feels like energy leaks, attachments, implants. I know some of it is past life stuff, some of it is fragmented shadow stuff, but it feels a lot like astral stuff too, with a lot of dark cords running through various parts of my body, lots of black orbs. Let's see here. You'd also mentioned that you feel like you have a ton of stuck energy in your legs. So I'm just gonna relax here, Ben, and myself cozy. I'm gonna go ahead and get connected, and we'll get you feeling better, okay? So just give me a moment here. Just connecting with my spirit guides, higher self, and connecting with your spirit guides, higher self, and connecting with angelic realms, higher consciousness, God energy, heaven, feeling deeply grounded and rooted, feeling centered in the universe. My initial response within myself is, where do I begin? I'm still trying to decide where to begin. This is not a response to what you have shared with me. This is actually an energetic response. So, some part of my energy evaluation of you is trying to decide where to begin. Tell you, you don't even know how beautiful you are on the inside. And if you knew how beautiful you were on the inside, all this stuff would just drop right out, drop right off you, drop right out of your spiritual atmosphere. Why are you actually choosing to hold on to these energetic weights? It's like holding on to stress. It's like holding on to a bad day. It's like holding on to a loved one that passed away that you can't let go of. You're psychic, holding on to psychic experiences that are like having a bad day, having a stressful day, and you just holding on to it and letting it fester and get louder and louder and louder and louder and louder. And really, Ben, all you gotta do is just let this go. Let this go. You gotta let this go. Gotta let go of all of this stuff. This session is going to lift you up, lift your spirits. It's going to release a lot of energy weight, and you're gonna discover who you truly are. I feel a memory coming back to me. It feels like I know I've done work for you before, and I want to say that Archangel Michael was a part of a session I've done with you. It just feels very familiar, and Archangel Michael is here with me right now. Archangel Michael energy is here. I didn't even call him intentionally. It's just sort of like a blending timelines, and I feel like Archangel Michael is a part of this journey. It's complicated because I'm healing you, and Archangel Michael is taking on what is like your suffering in a way. I see what is a man with pale skin, and his hair is long and black but is thinning out. He looks like Archangel Michael. But he's also taking on the echo of you. and he looks sicker and sicker. He shows me his body is full of lead. He shows me it's hard to swallow, it's hard to breathe, it's hard to swim through life when you are a lead weight. But he shows me it's not about the heaviness in the legs. Not only that, it's also about feeling poisoned, actually feeling like having ingested poison. And the poison is causing his hair to fall out and his complexion to fade, and he looks sickly. And I say, "You're Archangel Michael, why are you choosing to fall to this experience?" He smiles at me. He starts to glow. He shows me two worlds. One world where you are your enlightened form, where you manifesting light and love and healing, where you have higher consciousness and self-awareness, where you are part of the infinite love. The other version is where the infinite love is challenged and you feel like you have digested that challenge, and now it is difficult to process it. He feels in this version that he must process it as no different than having an amazing dinner and the body has to digest the food. This energy substance, the deeper consciousness also feels that it must be digested in some way, shape, or form, like food. But this doesn't digest like food. It's sort of like you swallow a bowling ball and somehow your stomach has to figure out how to digest this. It just doesn't digest. So it just lingers there like heavy weights and really awkward ones, and they are felt in different places of the body, and it is just simply weird. And it can't be digested. He shows me what is like a alien being that is like an amoeba. It's sort of like the form itself is a stomach. Is like this alien form is like a blob, which is also like a living stomach. And it's digests very random things. Whatever gets absorbed into the blob, it will actually find a way to digest it or process it. He talks about it uses acidic juices to break down the components, and then it actually feeds off of all the different types of materials that create those components, and it actually, this alien form, for whatever reason I'm supposed to tell you about this alien form can digest anything. And it won't hurt the alien form because it actually expands through the wisdom of the digestion. So whatever it is digesting, it becomes wiser. So it grows in wisdom. And it actually does not seem to have any issue digesting a bowling ball, for instance. It seems like a bowling ball is no problem for this alien being. But you are not this alien being, you are a human being, and your aura is not to digest any types of substances, energy substances. You're not an energy stomach. There's something about this. He keeps showing me these two images. He's really fast about it. The blob is like a green blob that digests things. I see your human stomach trying to digest food, A-okay, but the human stomach tries to digest a bowling ball, doesn't work. I see your aura trying to take on the form of what is this alien blob. There's a bowling ball inside of it, and it just makes you as a human being feel heavy. And I see your aura not digesting the bowling ball, and it's actually just suspended or hanging in there. And it feels heavy and weighed down. He says your aura does not process bowling balls. That's all he's going to say about that. I do know auras do process frequencies. So physical matter, though, is... he's just going to have me stop there. He doesn't want me to talk anymore about this. Let's see what else. You actually are doing quite good in comparison to, I remember the first session was very difficult, and your spiritual atmosphere is showing massive improvement from what I remember. Okay. Where do I begin? Again, that sensation is processing. Where do I begin? I feel two things. One is an image experience. What is being a person with a very heavy weight over the head, and it looks like an astronaut's helmet, but it's made out of rock, is what it is like. The other is I see nothing, but I feel a deep sorrow inside. And so I'm trying to decide, should I go to the head first? Should I go to the deep sorrow? Perhaps they are one. What do I do next? So I'm waiting for the next direction. Again, this positive message about this time, it's you are so loved. You have no idea how loved you are. You are part of the love of the infinite universe. You are extraordinary being of light. I mean, very soft, very peaceful, harmonic messages of who you truly are. Showing me again Archangel Michael falling victim to these pains and sufferings. But he's Archangel Michael, so why isn't he conquering this, or why isn't he overriding it? Why is he insisting that this is bigger than he is, so to speak? It's kind of a compliment to you because they're paralleling you with Archangel Michael. It's a really cool compliment. Why are you pushing me away though, too? I'm going into your spiritual atmosphere, but you also are like, your hand is pushing me back energetically, so there's an energy barrier around you that is just pushing the love back instead of opening it up and letting the love in. I also feel like I'm kind of hazily, just sort of in the spiritual atmosphere of you, just sort of like I'm just sort of like a bowling ball in your spiritual atmosphere. I just suspended in like the jello mold of your spiritual atmosphere. Um, and I'm just here. But as connected to the jello mold, I radiate the light from within me. I allow this light to be the digesting tool of all unneeded energy items in your spiritual atmosphere that your spiritual atmosphere is actually trying to digest but cannot. So I allow the light from within me now to spread across your spiritual atmosphere and to process all of this energy that is no longer serving Ben's purpose. And I just allow the light to travel in frequency waves in every direction around me. But every particle it touches in this jello mold of your spiritual atmosphere with the bowling ball objects, there's one specific bowling ball that I feel like this is just one symbol for what is more than one. So I'm just allowing that light to travel through all the particles of the jello and the bowling balls in order to evaporate that, digest that, and now all that is left is you. this is an interesting, thought-provoking question. It's simply just for you to, you know, process it however you want. It doesn't have to have an answer. We're snapping our fingers. There is no energy congestion. Snapping our fingers. There is no imbalance. We're talking about what is on a psychic level experiencing these poisonous frequencies, okay? And trying to digest them, but they seem to become too much. And now they're holding you down, holding you back, poisoning your system, and it's just simply too much. Now, let's say it all vanished and went away, and now there's nothing left but you. If you are all that is left, who are you? Some part of your deeper consciousness says, I am in balance when I have energetic poison to process. I have to change that in your spiritual atmosphere. I have got to get it reprogrammed to saying I am in balance when I am poison free. I am in balance when I am digesting love, the frequencies of love. And I don't know anything about poison frequencies. I don't know anything about bowling balls in my spiritual atmosphere. I don't know anything about lead in my blood system. I don't know anything about this, because the only thing that is real with my reality, I'm upgrading. I'm adding into your computer program of all that you are. The truth is, the only thing that is real is love. And I am in balance when I am digesting frequencies of love. That is the only thing that is real. You just put a period right there. I am in balance when I am digesting frequencies of love, period. You don't know about anything else. I'm putting this imprint into your emotional gut region, actually. I am placing it in there myself. It's specifically there. Oh, that gave me a little bit of a chill and a kind of a funny feeling around my head and my shoulders. I feel a little like tightness around my neck and my shoulders. I feel like a little bit looser is good. I feel like a little bit looser around my head. Oh, again, I am seriously having this feeling of, where do I even begin with you? I am looking at your spinal column. I'm going to touch your spinal column with light. You're still working at a lower frequency vibration, so I'm going to work on raising your vibrational frequency. Your spine is sort of turning into like a xylophone, and I am playing different harmonies on your spinal column. It's kind of cute and it's sweet, and I love these little bell noises. Again, there's something about your spiritual atmosphere that feels like it doesn't want me to see everything. Like, it doesn't want to bring me close enough. It doesn't want me to go. I don't know. It's like all I see is a gray smoke, and it's like a gray smoke. All the while, I'm going to continue to do what I'm called to do, so I'm just playing these notes on your spine. And I know that this energy work is raising your vibration. Its purpose is to raise your vibration. But its purpose is to manifest a mirror that helps you to see who you truly are. And there's some type of energy poison or disease that you digested that made you believe that you've been consumed by all of this stuff. When the reality is, you could simply ignore it and it would release itself. Let's see what happens here. When I speak these words, I experience movements and reactions in your deeper consciousness. I need these reactions, otherwise, it's going to remain foggy for me. So I've got to say things that create energetic reactions so I can access more spaces here. Okay. I'm opening up something that was invisible. It's really hard to open. I'm using all of my strength to pry it open and apart. Some sort of weird pod, and there's all kinds of weird, like a rotted seed or something, materials, and I see you are on the inside. I have got to get. So you're out of the pod, but again, that hazy thing, I've got to get that hazy energy lifted out of here. I'm actually going to step back for a moment, and I'm just going to focus specifically on your legs, okay? And we'll just see what happens. Because I got to test this hazy thing out. I just need to examine different spaces and see how they react to me. I snap my fingers. I say, I want to see these heavy legs. I want to see these implants. I want to see these past lives. I want to see this fragmenting. I want to see this stuff in your spiritual atmosphere. I want to see this stuff. When I speak this in your spiritual atmosphere it just doesn't respond to me. It just simply doesn't say anything to me. Why are you not speaking to me? All right, I know where you are. Number one thing, I'm just going to go to that space. What's it look like? It looks like planets, but there's no conversation. There's no energy conversation going on here. There should be screaming. There should be terror, anxiety, darkness. There should be like these black orbs. There should be something more to this, but it's like saying that I'm a full-fledged illustrated cartoon, let's say, but you can't see the pictures and there's actually no writing, so nobody's really talking. So how could this possibly be a full-fledged cartoon? You're insisting that it is all here, but there's nothing that it is showing me, because it is choosing to behave just completely silently. But I'm going to examine this new scene with the orbs, but they look like planets and they're not black. They just simply look like brown planets. There's no grass growing here, but they're sort of like, here's a littler one because it's further away. This one's a lot closer, so it's bigger. And then I have different orbs in different places. It looks kind of like a solar system. And they're all just a brownish color. So the brown, they're starting to turn ever so slightly a little bit. Just they're sort of like the Earth goes around in a circle. These ones go not like they go up and down. They spin up and down instead of right to left or whatever. They go up and down. And this one spins diagonally, slowly. They just don't have any energy activity to them. I mean, they're not like they're not stepping on my toes. They're just sort of like the bowling ball just hanging out in the jello spiritual atmosphere. They're just not saying anything or doing anything. You say I'm gonna go deeper than all of this stuff. I know you're experiencing it all at the surface, but there's something deeper beneath the surface that is projecting these experiences. So we gotta go deeper than this. I need to find a space where there's actual, real interaction, energy, activity interaction. Not where it's just sort of like suspended in the jello, It's like, that's gonna get me nowhere. I could just hang out with suspended jello stuff all day and evaporate it, and I'm still not getting deep enough. I need to get to a core, a root, like a wound, something in order to heal that, which is going to heal everything else. It's sort of like the wind that comes from deep down inside you that blows everything out and away. Or we could just have the wind on the outside of you and it just sort of, things aren't blowing out of you because it's got to come from deep down inside. We don't just sort of like, there's one, zap it, zap it. It's like, no, when it comes from deep inside of your core, like the light or the air or something, it just goes and on all directions, it just pushes it all out. You don't need that stuff. Or you could just linger there and you could try and like pull it out or grab it out. But where's the root of this experience? Like, where is the root of this that has attracted this experience in the first place? What is the root of it? And where is it? We gotta go deeper because your soul is still hanging on to something, like you say, past life wise, or something in the past that your soul is hanging on to that says that my balance includes experience of these poisonous kinds. In order to be in balance, I must have these poisonous experiences. Where is that affirmation coming from? It's not coming from the surface of your spiritual atmosphere. It's coming from deep, deep down inside. Beneath the orbs and the implants and the heavy legs and all that stuff, it's coming from way deep, deep beyond, deep, deep, deep down inside, somewhere deeper than that. Um, so so I'm just sort of gravitating into the sexual body balance. There's scar tissue here. It just looks like a rounded space. I'm just in a rounded space, but it feels like it's a sexual body frequency. And I just see the space itself looks like it has scar tissue here. And it's also associated with the lower spine, just the lower back. It's crying in here. It misses a certain type of music, and it's sweet and it's soft, and it is kind, and it is nurturing, and it is about love. It is. It has been disconnected, or I'm shown what is love generating from the heart of this soul consciousness, and there was like a really big there's a chopping block and you got chopped, but the other side of this, there's a separation between what was a harmonic song that your soul sang in harmony with another soul that actually looks different than yours. This soul is like a light pinkish color, more has more like looks like tulip bulbs in the way that it is shaped, more shapely. Where yours kind of looks like a energy body made out of like carved out of wood in an odd way. It's kind of brown, but there's something special about the way that you look, and that the way that this consciousness looks. You're totally two different creations, but yet when your voices come together, they make the most beautiful song, the most beautiful sound. And you actually, I'm showing the chopping block happened when when there's sort of like a moment where you were about to connect, and then it came down and said, no, you don't get to connect with this one. And you were left looking at a sharp butcher knife blade. And then you saw your reflection in the knife, the blade, the butcher's blade itself is like a really large, boxy looking kind of knife. And you saw yourself standing there looking back at you. So the reflection you saw was in the knife blades instead of the reflection of love that you felt in your heart that you were supposed to intertwine with. This inspired you to feel lost on your soul journey because you couldn't find the reflection you were looking for inside yourself. You felt like it was beyond yourself. And so when you saw your reflection in the knife blade, you felt the hurt, and you saw that what was inside of yourself was hurt. But the love was already there, but you had to discover through experiencing incarnations that the love truly was always there, and that it was never cut off from you. Even though it looked like it appeared to be cut off from you, it felt cut off from you, it was all playing a trick on you, and because it never was. I have to go through the story because your soul says it was cut off from me. So I'm gonna explore what it is like for your soul to go through this. I see finally what is very crisp image of sitting. It's blue and white mountains, really rich. It's sort of like a painting. It could only be real in a painting kind of thing because it's just too beautiful and surreal. But it's like a navy blue colored ground with white caps. So the mountains are like navy blue and white. And there's a beautiful blue sky and some just patchy clouds. But there's green grasses growing in certain places and really beautiful yellow flowers. Just sort of like prairie flowers and prairie grasses, but they're really intensely green. The yellow is really intensely yellow. The blue is very noticeably blue. The white is very white. And you're just inhaling fresh air here. And you're in a state of very deep thought. But it's not thought per se. It's more like deep feelings. In this moment, you're not actually looking for a companion. In this moment, you simply are like kind of a vagabond monk in a way that you are trying to find yourself spiritually. And you're not choosing to find yourself through a companion, but choosing to find yourself through your own walk of life by yourself in a way. But it feels like you are already kind of like spiritual on like a monk level. You really, in your heart of hearts, in this image, do not long for a companion. You long to solve a deeper riddle about your creation, and you feel the only way you will solve it is by discovering it for yourself, and only by yourself. This is actually quite a revered pathway, and there's no disagreement or there's nothing wrong with this choice. In fact, it was quite honorable. You seem to remember the intense green colored grass and the yellow flowers. You seem to really, this landscape imprinted on your soul. It feels like you could paint this scene blindfolded. You know where all the snow caps and the blues and the greens and the yellows go. It's so spring-like, and yet there's still snow. And the sun is warm, but it could still feel cool. I tell this part of you, I say, in another lifetime you are enduring these experiences. Your name is Ben. What do you make of this? I show him what is like a map of your spiritual atmosphere, but it's all in like geometric shapes, and I see the hazy outline of like an energy body. He does two things. One is he thinks about this for a long time. The other, he just smiles at me and says, "I don't know, Ben," and he hands me the paper back. I'm focusing on the one that holds on to the paper and is in concentration. He says, "What do you want me to do? Would you like me to leave this beautiful scene? Would you like me to go and heal this part of myself? Would you like me to explain something to you? A reason for why?" Something about this part of your soul is stubborn, and he needs to he needs to I'm starting to realize he's been sitting here in this scene for an extremely long time. What would be thousands and thousands and thousands of years, and only feeling like a day has passed. And this is just a soul fragment that does not want to come home, because it just doesn't want to leave this place, and because it's still in a state of trying to understand itself, but it's never going to understand itself more than it already has understood itself, so it actually needs to go back home, so then it can re-diversify its experience. It just does not want to leave this place because it's sort of like captivated by it, and just it just wants to be here forever. He says, "I wish I could go home now, but it appears that I need to go somewhere where it does not feel so warm and sunny. Somewhere a bit darker." Said, "I didn't want to leave here because I wanted to stay where it could always feel peaceful, where I could always feel this deep silence that I love. I'm being called now from heaven to leave this space, and I must honor the request. I don't want to leave," he says. "If I leave, he shows me he wants to go home to heaven, but he can't really go home to heaven until he goes to you first, Ben. He has to integrate into your experience, and then something in the transition. I'm not quite, I don't understand it. I'm just a human being. It's like some sort of infinite thing." He's really patient. He's very peaceful. He is not pressed for time. He doesn't experience any reason for hurry. He feels like a lifetime is an eternity. Might as well make it a good one and then stay there forever. That's kind of his motto. He loves the color blue. He shows me he's wearing a really intense blue colored, it looks kind of like a cape, but it also is worn like a robe in a way. The material is not really thick, it's thinner. It's the texture of it is phenomenal to feel it. I love the texture of it. It's just I don't know, it's couldn't be cotton, and I don't believe it's silk. It's just, but it's like unbelievably soft. It's just so soft, and the color is so rich and blue. It's so pretty. I'm mesmerized by it. I start to discover he's a well-fed man. And he kind of has the outfit in the shape of a bell, and he's got a beard that comes around, and it's brown hair, and there's something jolly about him. He's wearing a white rounded hat. This rounded outfit is white as well with fur on it, and then there's some sort of blue overcoat that creates a really rich blue and then white, and it looks really neat. But there's something old in style about it. I wouldn't know where this comes from, but this is what he shows me he's wearing. He's jolly and happy. He actually has a lot of personality. I feel like he could run and laugh. He's taking this bell costume out. I mean, it literally is in the shape of a bell. And then the sleeves come out and they're white, and then he has this blue thing, like, kind of comes over, like a sleeveless blue thing. And it's just like, I don't know, it's just, there's something jolly about him. But he feels like lightening the load. It's like he's taking all of his clothes off, and it turns out he's not, he only appeared to be a well fed man because this outfit is kind of rounded. I mean, he looked like he was healthy in the face too. I mean, I don't get to see him naked, but I experience him lightening his load by removing his clothes. And I feel the garment was heavier than, there was actually something heavy about the garment. So perhaps there was something heavy about his experience too. It felt peaceful, it felt enriching, but it was far heavier than you would have thought. Hmm. Sadness. Looking down at the soils, there's a teardrop that falls onto the soil. I don't I don't know whose teardrop. I don't know that it is his or not his. All I see is a teardrop fall onto the soils. He still feels like he's choosing to be free. And he's running around the landscape naked, but I'm looking at the soil. But I also feel like he is present here. I feel like he is still resisting. I'm still experiencing what is a hazy gray energy, and we need to get beneath it. We need to get more electricity flowing. There needs to be just more energy activity than this even. We're actually moving and we're making progress, but this is still not energy activity on the level it should be. Hmm. Okay. Something's changing here. We feel light as we feel anti-gravity, and we're sort of suspended, and we're just sort of like slowly turning in an anti-gravity world, and we're in a black orb, and we're just sort of like, again, I'm suspended in the jello mold of your spiritual atmosphere kind of experience, but I'm suspended in just like a beautiful mountainous scene, but the gravity goes away, and me and this man are just sort of like slowly just kind of turning in a direction. This is very suffocating. These orbs make it very hard to have emotions. Like, it make it hard to have normal flowing feelings. Feelings are like a bloodstream too. Feelings gotta flow, just like the blood's gotta flow. So, these orbs again, I keep experiencing what there's somehow really interconnected with the emotional gut region, which it's just wanting to feel kind of. It needs to feel more. I mean, there's got to be more fluid feelings going through here. I see there's some sort of sharp tack sticking out of your head, and like an antenna, but it's really sharp on the top of your head inside of a black orb as well. And I prick my finger on the top of it, and it's very sharp. It wants to show that my finger goes all the way into it, so it pierces me deeply and it hurts very bad. It wants to hurt me. It wants me to feel that pain. It wants me to know that it is real. Not that I am alive, but that it is real. It shows me that it's going to hurt me so bad it's going to put the object actually inside of my finger. And it's going to leave it there so I can feel the pain is real. So that it will remain with me forever. And it'll be there with me everywhere I go, and it will always hurt forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Forever and ever and ever and ever, it will always hurt. It will always hurt. Now the butcher is getting angrier, and he puts the sound of the butcher knife down on the chopping block again, and this time he's really considering chopping you into 2 pieces. He's angry. He's really, really angry. He's violent. And the thing is, when he lifts the chopping block to actually cut you into 2 pieces, you see past the illusion for a moment. He lifts it up, and suddenly you're not looking at your reflection in the knife, but you look beyond it and see this beautiful maiden soul. She's pinkish color and like bulbous, but it's like tulip bulbs. I just keep thinking of tulip bulbs. She likes to feel curvature, curvy, and there's something about her curvy nature, and she's really happy. She's really happy and marshmallowy and soft and squishy, and I love her to death. That's how I feel. Like when I see her, I'm like, oh, squishy, soft, I love you to death, Tulip. It's like her name is Tulip or something, and it's just like the knife and the butcher just suddenly just vanish, and you start running towards her. You love her so much. You actually love her so much. You ran too fast. You couldn't slow down, and you sort of topple onto her, and you're just like so ridiculously happy. So ridiculously happy. Like all these noises are coming out your third eye, above the crown of your head, through your eyes, even through your voice, your mouth, but they're like harmony sounds. Like not like human language sounds or light language sounds, even like they're like some like sounds of like pitch noises, but they're like beautifully harmonic. They're beautifully harmonic. But they're great. I love it. Like your whole body is starting to you're breaking off what is this wooden structure, and all these harmonic sounds start coming out of all of your energy portals. All your chakra portals are just like, ah! Like all these harmonic sounds are coming out every direction, in front of you, behind you. All this wood is just coming off of you, and you're breaking free from the shell. You're starting to like move and just harmonize, and you're just letting it out, and it's just harmony is happening. It's like 2 magnets that love each other just go like this. Harmony is happening, and we're stuck together with harmony. It's so cool. Oh, she's so happy to see you too. She's so squishy. I love how squishy she is. I feel like I gotta squish everything about her. I just need more squishy. I love how squishy she is. She's like a super awesome squishy pillow or marshmallow body. I don't know, but I love it. I can't stop squishing her. But she's so happy. She loves to be squished. It's sort of like the Pillsbury Doughboy when he's like, woohoo! It's just yes! He loves getting tickled because he's squishy and cute. Or something like that. She's really squishy and cute and awesome. She's so happy. I feel like her name is Tulip. I don't know why, but she reminds me of tulip bulbs. I don't know why, but she does, and she's got a pink radiating energy. She's a lot softer in her expression than you. You can be very loud in your harmonizing sounds, and hers are just really soft, and you almost have to be quieter for a moment to enjoy all of her unique speech. her energy speak is like really, it's like you gotta be quiet to be enchanted by it. And when you get really quiet, you become more and more and more and more and more enchanted by it. And it's like the most enchanting sound you have ever heard in your life. And nothing else matters. Oh, it's so much better now. There's still an odd energy blob around you, but we are making serious progress here. She says, I'm here with you. She holds your hand and gives you a squishy kiss. She loves you so much. She actually hugs you, and you receive the hug from her, and you just smile, and you're beaming. You're full of like this golden radiating light. She's just like this squishy pink, awesome. Like, I can't even begin to tell you how awesome her essence feels. It's addictive. But it's her. It's who she is. It's what makes her special and different from you. This chopping block man is still here, but he's so ignored that he can't make sounds to intimidate you. You can't even hear him trying to intimidate you. So you're actually releasing him and his frequency out of your life, which is something to do with intimidation and convincing you of your self-worth and convincing you of what your life is all about, which is not feeling that connection of love there with you, but it absolutely is. You just have to see through the illusion of your reflection in order to find the love beyond that, which is the love within you. I don't feel like we're sort of suspended floating around. I don't feel that anymore, but there's still something about your spiritual atmosphere that feels kind of like it needs more activity. It needs more activity in here. I don't know why, but 4th of July, they have those little like bags. They're tiny. They're like, they snap really loud. And so you throw them on the go and they go pow, and you just throw them like that. I feel like I need those snaps in here. Like, I know pow, 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 snap, 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 like energy activity, and it's like snapping around your spiritual atmosphere and lightening things up. Like, we need to get some energy snaps in here. I'm doing work on your feet because you need to get your body. It's like you could imagine somebody who doesn't have good actual physical circulation. Their blood could pool in their feet. Their feet get really fat. Their legs feel really jacked up and weird physically. But now imagine having poor energy circulation, like in a way that it got kind of like pooled in your feet or in your legs. So I got to do something to get energy movement swirling around in here. So I'm going to start doing that and we'll see what happens next, okay? I'm getting you moving back and forth, kicking your legs up really high, like as high as I can get your knees to go. I'm just having you do different body movements here to get energy flow going, okay? Because you got to get energy flow going. I mean, it got really pooled in your legs. Like, there's no doubt about that. I'm having you run. It's hard at first. It feels really awkward. It feels like you ever wake up and your hand is falling asleep and it's like a really awful, weird, gross feeling and you have to like move your hand and it's just like, wake up, like, I don't like that. Your legs kind of feel like that right now. They're kind of like, my fingers feel, my toes feel fatter than they really are. Like my legs feel weird. It's kind of like that, but so you're kind of just like that right now. Okay. as we're working on it, it's starting to instigate something to come out, an energy conversation here. Again, we got to go beneath the surface. Some sort of, what is this? Initially, I saw what was a weird thorn stuck in your lower back, so I'm just pulling it out. At the same time, it seems like there's also an additional other message. Again, it has to do with scar tissue in a space that would be defined as the harmony of sexual balance. And there's sadness in here, and this boy is longing for his harmony. And his harmony is not his harmony, it's her harmony. He longs for her harmony, but he says, I long for harmony. I long to experience harmony. And he calls her harmony, not tulip. He calls her harmony. I long for harmony. And he's so sad inside. He aches without her. He struggles without her. He misses her so much. He feels like he has been born to feel kind of like tortured or in a dungeon. And like cast out or cast away. And this is how he will die. And he just, in agony, misses harmony so much. And he talks about her. Okay, big massive energy blop connected to what is top of the shoulders and lower spine, just pushed all the way out of this whole space. An energy like blop, like a dollop of black goo just came out, it just plopped out. And I'm pulling out more energy goo out of this lower spine, just this whole opening, like there's an opening down here. It's like threads of it. It's like the size of tree root, but it's more like softer, like threads or something. So I'm just pulling it out of there, like ribbon, pulling out this ribbon of it. I'm having you shake off, kind of like a wet dog, but it's shaking out all this energy clutter and junk that has gotten congested, and you're just shaking it out of your spiritual atmosphere. I hear weird plinking noises, like plink and plink noises, as it shakes out of you. You start to notice that you feel really dirty. Like you really desperately need a shower. Like you stink and you're filthy. You're covered in just dirtiness. You feel like covered in dirtiness. Like you can, there's like chunks of like dirt on clops, and when you shake, the dirt clops actually kind of plop off, but they're just, it's like it's in your eyelashes and brows, and it's all over your whole body. Like you feel really caked in dirtiness, not just dirt, but other random like things just attached to you, and you just feel really dirty. This is weird because as I talk about this, you say, yes, I am really dirty. And there were two weird wiggly tail things that just went, both of them went in here, and they're just flapping around, like freaking out, like a fish out of water is flapping around, but they're like squiggling they're like, I don't know, they look like sperm. They're swiggling their little tails. I'm not worried about that. It's just, we're just letting things go right now. So any kind of weirdness that we see, we just see it for what it is. We know that it's part of the healing process. It has nothing to do with you anymore. We're just allowing it to speak for itself so we can learn something. And we just start to let this stuff go, okay? It's interesting because I was gonna take you to what would be like a energetic into an actual waterfall or like an angelic shower or something like that, but they're taking you into, they as in angelic light, Archangel Michael, spirit guides, higher self, my spirit guides, higher self, all of us, we're like gravitating you towards a space of light, and the light itself actually purifies you, not using energy water, but actually the light itself purifies you. And then Harmony is here as well, and she is sharing her enchanting sounds as you're sort of ascended into a higher place of light. And you're receiving her sounds as healing music for your soul. And the light is actually sort of purifying all of you. Because we're trying to also help you realize that all of this harmony and this light is inside of you. And it's very bright, and you expand it out. There's nothing that's going to get in here. There's nothing except light. Nothing else is going to want to get in here. You're too bright. You're blinding anything else. Like, you're overwhelmingly, blindingly bright, and it's beautiful. So you got to let your light shine and not be afraid to shine it. But there's something about you realizing that you're a bright light and not a dim light that can be easily like congested and all this other junk going on. And it has to do with you feeling like you lost your harmony. And it's like her name is Harmony, and it's like a soulmate. And it feels like a very long time since you have seen this actual real life soulmate in an incarnation. It feels like a very long time. This isn't just a metaphorical thing. This actually feels like a real message about a soulmate. A very meaningful one. We have lots and lots and lots of awesome soulmates. But this is one your soul's really longed to connect with again, and almost goes through suffering and agony to be apart from her. Like, when you really long for this soulmate, it's almost like you magnetically attract all kinds of terrible, like, awful, torturous things, because you're just, like, in so much pain without her. You just do it, like, magnetically attract, like, oh shoot, your giant magnet, nails are coming at us, this other junk is coming at us, you're attracting it because Harmony's not here. Just Harmony's coming. There's a reason why we're talking about this. I swear to God, you will meet this Harmony person. I swear to God you will. And we're just re-altering the frequencies of the magnets. We're just changing the frequency of the magnets. We're just altering it now. We're shaking out the old frequency now. That's what we're doing. Allowing then Harmony to come forward. Allowing Harmony to enter into your heart portal. Allowing you to experience a harmony within you. Allowing you to feel expanded in the light of all. Allowing you to know who and what you are is harmony for this world. Allowing you to see that you are beautiful now. Allowing you to experience your true reflection. It just goes on and on, this amazing gong of just like vibration. It's just like vibration. It's just, you are amazing, you are Harmony. And it just like keeps saying it on that level. Like, it just keeps vibrating it. Inside your heart is like, It is like that. It's like bringing you back to your true essence is quite extraordinary. This Om noise, bringing the harmony into your heart, feeling the harmony expanding. You are at the center of the universe. You are in balance and alignment now. It keeps going. Like, it's just, it's like creating activity in all of your chakra portals. It's opening up your spinal column to light energy. It's helping you feel like alive. It's helping you to let go of what are like these energy boots you've been wearing because you just put them on for some reason, and now you don't have them on anymore and you're free. So much better now. Your whole spiritual atmosphere is so much better now. soul still wants to know about harmony. I say you know everything you need to know right now about harmony. You need to feel happy and at peace now. And you need to stop with this attracting the poison stuff, because we don't know nothing about that now, do we? All we know is that your balance is to digest the frequency of love, period. And you are digesting the frequency of love because harmony has returned to your heart once more. It's okay to let everything else go because it wasn't there in the first place. It was just the agony to live without harmony. Feel so much better. Feel like you're waking up in a new world. Archangel Michael is here. He smiles at you. He really feels like your friend. I mean, he really connects, his energy frequency connects with you as he sees you as his friend. He calls upon you as his friend. He really feels a friendship with you. Like, I feel that. Like, he is your friend. It's really special. It's meaningful. Alright, that's all I can share, Ben. Hey, just give me a minute. I gotta come back into my body more. I'm a little dizzy. Just disconnecting more from your spiritual atmosphere, just pulling myself in and then pushing you further in your own direction, and I'm going in my own direction, and just feeling that separation. Disconnecting from your spiritual atmosphere, allowing myself to open up to the light of my own kind, feeling myself. Alright, that's better. Alright, Ben, thank you so much for this experience, and for those of you watching, I do all kinds of psychic work, spiritual healing, and sharing psychic wisdom. If you're interested in connecting with me one-on-one, please visit me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. Thank you all. Ben, thank you again. You're going to be feeling a million times better, and I'm really glad you reached out to me for help. And you're going to be getting also a session from Joseph too, which is just going to help you feel that much better even more. So, all right. Thank you all, and I wish you all a wonderful day.